So you are seeing a, I would say, increase in stuff coming across your desk that is like, I don't know, AI enabled or AI partly developed. And are you seeing a reduction or hmm, a lack of quality, or are you seeing like it seems to be like similar quality, but as before, maybe 3 years ago, but it's just things are moving faster.
If you have a lack of quality, I think things are definitely moving faster. I think you have a lot of the same things. I see a lot of companies that, they think they're the only one building something, and we've seen 50 of the same things already pitched to us that we maybe didn't even respond to. I think AI, from my perspective, is like, it's like cloud technology. Like everybody's embedding it into their workflow and into their tech stack. How were you able to build this so quickly 10 years ago was like, I built it on the cloud with AWS. Now it's like with AI, I think people are using AI in different ways, right? There's front end AI, there's back end stuff. We invest in some data companies that are building amazing things with AI from a data collection, cleaning, and quality control perspective that like may allow them to build a company that typically took 10,000 people and now we're going to do it with 50, right? So
Mhm.
it's not sexy AI from the end user perspective, but underneath the hood definitely gets exciting. So um, I think it's all over the map.
That's exactly what drives change. Probably is the stuff way under the hood versus the stuff that you see on the surface. And speaking of change, can we talk about the change in customer dynamics and their perspective on what they're demanding consistently from companies? That has shifted quite a bit, and that provides opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I think the customer, I think this is true with AI, right? Like you're seeing really quick revenue, but you're also seeing a ton of churn. And I think it's hard as an early investor to know, what's real and what's not. A lot of people are trying a lot of things, like go-to-market sales tools. How many people are paying for OpenAI and they're paying for Anthropic and they're paying for, and then they're going to just get rid of a few. We've seen founders try four, five, six different AI sales tools for cold calling and email campaigns. I'm not going to keep all these things. So I think you're definitely seeing the churn and changes quickly. And I think, it's also hard to figure out who's building something unique with a real moat versus who's just jumping on the hype wagon really quickly.
Do you have a, I guess, step by step parameter on how you would describe whether or not something has a moat, enough of a moat to where if you give it a little bit of capital, they could at least defend themselves for a while, either get acquired or scale?
I mean, I think for us, it's about the people and the domain experience, right? Like
Hmm.
a lot of these companies over time are going to pivot or find their product market fit over time, or may have to, think through like, adversity. So right, first it's the people and is the idea big enough? And then it's like, what's their domain expertise? Like what experiences do they have? For me, like I love seeing if there's some sort of data moat or something where like they've got access to things or something they're building that others aren't. We also like going after industries or things that, haven't been disrupted in a long time and maybe are not the sexiest industry right away within fintech or within like the verticals that we pay attention to. So there's a little bit less competition right off the bat.
Yeah, I think for myself, not necessarily for VC, but I know everyone can start an insurance company, and like the big thing when you're starting like an insurance company is like, oh, I've got this data, I've got this partnership with so and so, and I already know what my prospective portfolio is going to be. Whereas if you're just like, oh, I'll just start an insurance company, it's like, well, like not everybody could do that, but I think a lot of people could do an MGA or an insurance company. Like if there's no special angle, then there's nothing special about it.
Right.
I think it's
That
the key
makes some
takeaway.
sense. I'd agree with that.
With people trying all these new things and it being difficult to discover whether the churn or traction, how how do you navigate the mess, like in your regard? Do you just really focus on the founders and their experience and their direction if they're well equipped for a pivot, or do you look elsewhere?
I don't even think if it's a pivot, but I definitely think, listen, it comes down to the founders, right? We're
Mm,
investing at the earliest stage. We definitely like to invest in things that are non-consensus that maybe, aren't the most interesting. We've been investing in like wealth tech and wealth management technology for, 5 years or more. I don't think that was really a exciting industry up until maybe the last year, year and a half for other venture firms. And even now that it's, exciting for many, there's a lot of parts of like just wealth management that are still boring or under thought through. And so like, founders that have experience, a problem that they've encountered in their life that they want to go solve, but that also is a multi-billion dollar opportunity. That's, exciting to us. I think that, we're more vertically focused and more industry focused. We're not investing in like the next Zoom info or like, a generic sales enablement tool. It's just not something that we can like really, I think, wake up every day and be as helpful with.